Hi, everybody. This is Patti Negri. Welcome to the Witching Hour. The Witching Hour, when is that? Well, usually it's late at night when the veil between the worlds is the thinnest. But right now, this witching hour is whenever you happen to be tuning into this podcast. This witching hour, the magic is in my amazing guests. I bring you the best in magic, witchcraft, the occult, spirituality from all over the world. And this week, I'm bringing a very special, very new friend from all the way across the pond. Yes, I just met her in the UK. Let me introduce you to my new friend and sister I never knew I had, Heavenly Helen. Let me tell you a little bit. Helen, yeah, she's waving. Hi. Helen is a natural-born clairvoyant and Reiki and Karuna master teacher. She uses her extensive knowledge and spiritual gifts to offer psychic tarot readings for guidances and powerful healing sessions, giving her clients the tools to lead a happier, healthier life. Helen also runs workshops and classes all over the UK, teaching others the gift of healing and psychic development. It goes on and on and on, but instead of just reading her bio, let me introduce you. Welcome, Helen.
Hello, Patti. I cannot believe I'm here. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. Can't believe it.
I am so thrilled to have you. We just got back. Everybody I've been talking about on the podcast was just at my very first time in the UK. We were together at the Festival of the Unexplained in Bosworth Hall in Bosworth something Market, UK. I never know where I am, especially if I get out of Hollywood, I don't know where I am. Across the ocean, I really don't know where I am. But it was beautiful. And from across the room, from across the hall, I just kind of honed in on this beautiful energy over there. And then we just kind of hit it off. And I felt your magic.
Yeah, it comes to magic, doesn't it? When it comes to magic, you spot magic through a crowded room, you spot it. And I remember you coming up to me saying, "Hi, I'm Patti." And I said, "You never need to introduce yourself to me. I know who you are." You are magic. You are magical. We had a fantastic time, didn't we? Fantastic.
We did. We danced all night. It was a really fun festival because it was a smaller festival because we were in a place that wouldn't take bigger. But, you know, we had dance parties and seances and we were the dancers all night, all night, all night. Had they had a podium, we'd have got on it.
I think we would have done. I think we would have done. We certainly let our hair down. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Living your best life, having fun. That's what it's all about.
You know, that's sort of when I teach my mediumship classes at my school, one of their homeworks is to dance unabashedly, you know, even by yourself, whatever, like nobody's watching, to let loose. So it's important.
It's so important. I do a lot of work with your chakras, with your energy centers. And I always say, you know, to open up your chakras, it's not all about the spiritual side. Sometimes just dancing and singing can open up your chakras. And again, I think ours were very balanced that night, Patti. Very balanced.
I do too. They were great. And speaking of chakras and balance, and I love your accent. You say the same about me, but I don't have an accent. You have an accent. I was going to hold it up, but I just left it upstairs because I used it last night. I went to a client. You make beautiful products, beautiful. And I have this organized pendulum, which is like monster biggest pendulum I've ever had. And oh, you have one right there. Oh, dude, they are so beautiful, the energy. So how did this come about? I know you, like me, started this in childhood, but how were you drawn to your path? How did it happen? And how did it get a little witchy?
Gosh, do you know, where do I begin? Where do I begin? So when I was a little girl, I've always had the ability to see the spirit world and to see your energy levels. So I would look at people and I would see colors around them, and I would see these portholes, these circles through the body, which I didn't realize were your chakras, which is your whole being, the whole essence of you is your chakras. So I'd just see these beautiful colors around people. Then I see a few dark patches and my hands would get hot. And I knew if I was to lay my hands on you and draw out that darkness, then that's healing you. So it started with the healing world, really. And then when I was tiny little girl, all I ever wanted was tarot cards, crystal ball, because I knew if I had some sort of psychic tool, I could focus what I was feeling into this psychic tool and see easily. Luckily for me, my mother understood all this, so she could explain it to me. So when I would say to her, I've just seen somebody, I've just seen someone that's no longer here, she would say, that's okay. That's the spirit of the past. Speak to them. So she helped me to develop. She also helped me to understand white magic, because it's all about love. Whatever you give out, you receive. So by giving out good magic to somebody, I used to do healing on people, but also sprinkle it with magic. Then I knew that they were going to live their best life. We should all be living our best life. We should all be balanced and happy on our life path, because it's over in the blink of an eye. So this is all about, you don't want to get to the gates of heaven and look back and go, oh, I spent my life so stressed. So it's nice to be able to use your gifts, live your best life, and anything I can help with, I will, whether it's my readings, my healing, or even when it comes to teaching psychic development. It's all there to help people. To give them the tools for them to live a healthier life. Definitely.
Yeah, it's empowerment. We are the same person with different color hair. My God, how we with different color. Though I did not, I saw energy the same way too, and I saw the auras and talked to the dead people. And my mom also encouraged it. It wasn't like, oh God, you're going to hell. It was like, yeah, Grandma did that. But but I didn't go right into the healing part. My like touching of hands, that came way later. I would be instead in the backyard picking herbs and oils and doing things with those. I started like outside forward, but the other thing took long. I love that you saw the dark spots. I didn't quite go there.
Can you imagine what would have happened to us hundreds of years ago, Patti? Could you imagine? We'd have been burnt at the stake, wouldn't we?
Burned at the stake, drawn, quartered, hung, and drowned. All of them. Only because we bring love. Only because we tell people you can do it. Only because we empower people. I mean, we tell people they have the power. So speaking of balance, again, that's what I know we're both very much about. What are some of your we're in crazy times. I talk about this all the time because we're still in crazy times. Again, the COVID, the post-COVID, it's not posting. We have, unrest in Ukraine and all this stuff going on. What are some witchy or not witchy or just energetic or spiritual tips that you use or that you could suggest to people going, oh, it's crazy. How do I not get wrapped up in this? Or how do I not just fall down a rabbit hole?
I know so many people have got global anxiety. I've never felt it so much because, years ago, people would come to see me because they were stressed with their life, their life in their home and their family or their friends, their circle. If there was stress, I would help them with it. Now, in the past few years, people have been coming to me with global anxiety. They're worried about the world, which in a way is quite nice that we're all connecting. We're all worried about each other for the first time. So I'm kind of enjoying the fact that we are thinking of other people all the time. But what I've been doing is I do a lot of hypnosis. Have you ever been hypnotized, Patti?
I have. I am a super easy hypnotized person. I'm the person in one of those stage shows they could make dance like a chicken. I did a couple TV shows because they test you how fast you could be hypnotized. Yeah.
You're my perfect client for that. But I do a lot of hypnosis with people, and I've been doing a lot of hypnosis for coronavirus anxiety basically, and I've just put it out there on my YouTube channel so people can just listen to it. And basically the rule of it is just listen to it and go away on holiday. I take you on holiday. I take you out of the worry of life for a while, because there's nothing wrong with escaping. There's nothing wrong with sort of escaping a little bit until you can come back to it. Because if I always say, I have to go back to your chakras. If your chakras, your little circles of energy here are in balance, then you can handle anything that life throws at you. So there's so many different ways of doing it. Firstly, it's about your own calm inner peace, your own inner peace. And then your inner peace will reflect on somebody else. We're all mirrors of each other. So then soon there'll be global inner peace. So I do a lot of healing to the world. I do transmission healing, which is to do with sending it to different countries. I do healing, my own healing, and I teach healing for people to do self-healing, because when you're feeling a little bit stressed, there's little things, just by holding a certain crystal can keep you calm. So anything that keeps you calm and keeps you happy, and the next person happy, that will spread, and surely we can heal the world that way. I really believe that we can heal the world through energy, through passing on that good energy of around the world, basically. Do you know what I mean?
I do too. One person at a time, and that's it. And
Yeah.
if we're not balanced, we can't balance that person, can't balance that person. It's like dominoes, could be bad or could be good. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. This whole COVID and everything was a wake-up call to what is important. We were asleep at the wheel, and we were sent to our room to figure out what's important. And now we are thinking globally. But we do have to keep in balance. And I love that you'll hand somebody a shot. I'm very elemental in my magic and my work too. It's like touch a tree, touch wood, hold a crystal, run water, and balance.
It is. It's all about nature. Nature is all around us. Even if you live in a concrete jungle, you can find a little bit of nature somewhere, everywhere, even if it's at home with your own plant. So when it comes to bringing in, the elementals, when it comes to grounding, we all have to stay grounded. And I always say to my customers, I have a lot of people that come to see me, and I work and I live this. This is my whole life, dedicated to helping people to live their best life. And I always say to them, take your shoes and socks off and just go and stand on a tiny piece of grass somewhere and just ground yourself, earth yourself. And then once you've earthed yourself, you can then start to focus, because everything else will happen then. Your mind, even if it's raining on you, to do with water, earth, fire, we are all made of this. So to bring in all the elementals is so important, because then that means we can be complete. Once we're complete, we can handle anything. And if there's some bad going on in the world, like with the war, if we can send enough light, surely maybe that can get rid of the darkness. I don't believe in getting angry with people. I believe in sending them love, sending them light. And that will then help, again, start one person at a time, will help the whole world.
I agree. Bring one candle into a room, you bring in the light, it lights it up. Yeah, you see the dark, scary shadows, but you are there. You brought the light. So I love that. And again, you are in the UK, you were in the countryside. It was so beautiful. I was just in our little van going, wow, I'm in fairyland. And speaking of fairies and things, you live in that land where all these magical things came from. Our cosmologies and stuff, we have them too, but do you work with the Fae or elementals and anything like that?
I love the Fae. I love it. When you go to, we have a place here with lots of woods and forests, and when you go there, you can see there's so many different aspects to it. So you have the darker side. I don't like to go to the darker side, even though I do a lot of paranormal investigations. It scares me, the dark side. I like to work with the light all the time, and I believe a lot in the fairies, the fae. I always say, let the magic in, because the magic is knocking all the time. And if you just open your eyes to it, just let it in, you'd be amazed at what you see. And I've seen some amazing things when it comes to the fairy world. They are there. They do exist. I've also seen amazing things when it comes to the angelic realms. We've got the angelic realms around us. And the other side of it is we've also got the interstellar communication. So we've got the intergalactic angels that will come down. So I always say, when I was at school, I remember saying to the teacher, what's paranormal now will be normal in years to come. And he was so annoyed with me for saying this, but I really still believe that. I believe that at school we learned maths, English. I believe in the future we'll also learn telepathy. Everything will move over to the paranormal, and fairies and the fae will come out more because we will believe in them.
Yeah, I agree. And I think they actually already are in the elemental kingdom. I think because we need that earth focus again. Yes, we work the angelic realm. Yes, we work that way up there. But we, as of right now, we still are human, or at least half human. We live in this corporal body, so we have to respect this planet we're on. I know a good friend of mine, Chris Fleming. He's American and he lives here, but he's on a TV show in your country, My Haunted House or something like that. But he's not a witchy guy, but he's a beautiful psychic medium, and he's a healer, and he's an artist. But he doesn't know our more witchy side of things. We were talking not too long ago, and he's like, Patti, I saw a gnome. Gnomes are real. I'm like, Yeah, it's an elemental. He just never knew that part of it. And I think that they have to come out because we have to have that awareness of this planet. So that was so cute. Was so cute. It's like such a what? And here he is, this super spiritual, super educated, super everything guy. Had just never gone into this what's on our planet side of things. It was so cute.
It's so true that, again, there's so many different layers and so many different things you can see. And I know who you mean, Chris Fleming from Help My House is Haunted. It's
Yeah, that's it.
yeah, that's fantastic, because that they helped the spirits to move across, which is what it's all about, really. We're all on this spiritual journey and we're living our life, but it's all about when we get to the end of this life, we're supposed to move forward. That's what we're supposed to continue our spiritual journey. And when it comes to what we see, some people will see gnomes, leprechauns, fairies. They won't believe what they've seen. They'll just think it's just their imagination. I love the fact that people don't believe in what they've just seen in front of their eyes because they presume it's their imagination. But there are magical, mythical creatures. They were probably here before we were, that live on this earth plane, and we are here sharing it with them. So you're bound to see something now and again. You're bound to see something just move past your eyes and think, what was that? Because especially in the nature, especially in the woods. There's so many different things. There's also time slips. Sometimes you'll see the spirit world and then you'll think, did I see a spirit, or have I just slipped into another time zone? There's so much magical paranormal out there. I love it all. I live and breathe it. I get excited when people tell me stories. And what I find as well, when I was younger, people didn't believe in this. They'd say to me, oh, I don't believe in things like that. But then they'd come up to you afterwards and give you a little story about when they've seen their own ghosts. So it's just a case of they were a bit embarrassed to admit it really years ago. But now it's a little bit more open. Do you feel it's more open now? People believe in it more.
Completely more open. I mean, look at television. At least in our country, whole channel. I own a channel dedicated to paranormal and magic and things, Paraflix. But look at Discovery. Look at all those. You guys have really channel. Yes, it's bigger. I think it's partially because, again, we are moving into that age of Aquarius, that they sang about in the 60s, and the veil is thinning. So more and more people are going to see that stuff that's out there, like ghosts or fairies or gnomes or angels or whatever it is. And it's just going to be more and more and more. Plus, I do think, and I've been looking at that so much, when times are extra scary, people naturally, they used to would just go right to religion or their belief system. They go to church, they go to temple or whatever. And a lot of people are doing that, but that's not working for a lot of people. So they're getting more alternative or discovering old ways like pagan ways or new age ways. And that's great. And some people who don't even want that, I don't want spirituality, I don't want chakras, but they want to know there's something more out there. They're becoming paranormal investigators.
That's right.
They still want to know something is there more than this that they see on TV, more than this is too scary. So there's something else out there. So that's a way to do it without religion or spirituality or magic. Not that they don't get there eventually, because people like you and me are in there doing that paranormal stuff too. Like, okay, this is how you protect yourself. Okay, this is who you call it. And so they get their back door. It's fun. That's why I think the ghosty shows, the paranormal shows they're just not wearing out. Quite the opposite. They're getting stronger.
I know, because it's still the unexplained. There used to be a magazine called The Unexplained, and I used to buy it every week when I was young, when I was like 10, because it fascinated me. Because when it comes to the mysteries of the world, there's so many mysteries, and we want to know we want the answers, don't we? And then once we get the answers to that one mystery, we go, oh, well, we want to find another mystery now. So I think it's just ongoing. It's our natural inquisitive mind, which is brilliant. It's part of our makeup. But I love the fact that people are definitely more open to it now. And now, if there was suddenly a window would open in the night or bang closed in the night, and you'd hear something. Years ago you'd think it was a wind, but now people are a bit more open and think, maybe it is the spirit world want to see me. And the more you open up and link to the spirit world, the more they'll be able to come through. This is amazing, because again, years ago in the Victorian days, you would have spirit seances where the spirit would actually show itself. You would see it. It would transpire in front of you. You'd see it in front of you.
Yep.
Whereas now, with, I think, to do with mobile phones and televisions and computers, we've all that dims it down a little bit. But my feeling is, in the future, our aura is so strong. Maybe the spirit world might start to show ourselves in our aura. Maybe we'll start to see that again. So I think we're moving. The age of Aquarius is definitely happening, and I think we're moving further into that age where we will start to see some quite amazing things, and there'll be less skeptics, I feel, in the world.
Yeah, I think so too. And the fact that the magic world, spirituality or whatever, and science is crashing together. They're becoming the same thing. All this weird stuff, if they study our brains as mediums and psychics, it's different. And all this science and everything's literally coming down to numbers, which is scientific. And we've been using numbers forever. That's what the quantum sciences are all about. And that's just fascinating when science is proving spirituality, and spirituality, we knew that all along, or magic, whatever you want to call it. So, and I think spirits too, yes, maybe in the Victorian days they had the ectoplasm and spirits showing. The way I raise a veil and say that people really can't see more, but now spirits are learning to use cell phones and ghost radar and boxes and K2 meters. It's just energy. They're just energy. We're just energy. And now we're getting this, this is a modern day Ouija board in a sense,
It is because we know it's a modern day mobile phone, cell phone. But when it comes to the spirit world, they just see this black box, and they know that if they can speak to that and connect to it, we'll suddenly react. They see us react to it, and go, oh, they just spoke to it. So that's why apps are amazing. You've got your REM pods, all the equipment. It's working. It really is working, and we're having things beyond proof now. The photographs that we have out there now, this photograph of the spirit world. Some people don't believe in it. That's fine. It's a shame. I always think it's a shame that they can't sort of open the mind more. But usually, when it comes to using the equipment, like me and my partner, we do investigations, and he uses all the equipment. I'll see the spirit, and then he's trying to capture it to prove to the world. Because if I'm seeing a spirit and it's just an invisible, it's just me saying, oh, I can see somebody. He's trying to capture it to show it. And then when you've got like the REM pod going off or the app going off, and suddenly at the same time as well, and suddenly it's confirmation. It's like, yes, It's confirmation for people that can't yet see it. Once they get that confirmation, maybe soon they will be able to see it. We've all got
exactly. Once they know it's there, that's what I like about the equipment. I'm not an equipment girl, but the first time I ever saw an SLS camera with the little green stick people, and because I could tell I'm blue in the face going, and the spirits going woo woo with their arms back and forth and back and forth with their arms, and people would believe me or don't believe me or whatever. Now there's a guy in the other room with a camera with a little green stick person, and the little spirit's arms are going back and forth and back and forth and back. I'm like, yes, that's what I'm seeing. That, like what you said, and the REM pod goes off. So, and again, once they're open to it, then they're going to be able to see it better. But if somebody doesn't want to believe, I'm okay with it. Though it is the skeptics that fall the hardest once they do believe. It's like, wah. But if they choose not to, that's okay. If they maybe just want to live in a more limited, less magical world.
I know. It's so true. I know I've done readings before for people, and I've had the spirits come through, and they've actually said, I didn't believe in this when I was on the living planet, but now look at me, I'm here. So they usually, obviously, once they pass over, they will then realize it was all true. But it's just, we all have different beliefs on the way there, on our little journey on the way there. But when I do a lot of hypnosis. I do regression, where I take people back to past lives. And so I'll take them to that moment that they're going to pass, and I'll say, take your last breath, take them to the past life. Where are you going? And they all go very quiet, and they'll say, home. I'm going home. So it's really nice, because it shows that we are going home, we are going to the spirit world. Then we can either become angels, guides, or we stay there and wait for our loved ones to join us, and maybe come back into another life where we have our lessons again in life. And I'm just so grateful that I feel that I must have had a lot of past lives where I finally got to this life where I feel I'm on a bit of a higher vibration. I feel like I understand it a bit more now. And when I was, you know, they said everybody's born with 6 senses. We're all trying to develop that 6th one. If it comes to just going back to the equipment, if it comes to just using equipment to see that 6th sense to help us to move forward in this life, then so be it. I don't mind skeptics. I quite like a skeptic now and again. I quite like sort of seeing the faces when we do show them the SLS. But I know what you're saying. That SLS is just jaw-dropping, isn't it? Because everyone can see what you're seeing for the first time.
I know. I was a friend of mine. He actually teaches at my school. He's a paranormal investigator, Stefan Bogatti, and he works at a very haunted old theater. When I say old, I mean my country old. I mean West Coast. It's like from 1930s, not like from 1200 like in your country. But he has an old haunted theater with all the stories that go with it. Oh, gangsters were there for a while and prohibition, whatever. But we were, again, they had the camera and I'm just doing my thing, no equipment. And I felt I was reaching out for a spirit and the spirit was reaching for me. And you know, you feel like, oh, we're reaching hands. He and I always talk about the cords between us and the lines. And on the SLS camera, he caught my little stick finger hand, the little spirit stick finger hand, and a red beam of light between. Oh, wow. I'm like, yes, that wow. Energy. I've never seen that before or since on SLS, but he's got it. The little energy going towards each other.
Well, that is the proof. I mean, that is the proof of the pudding, because we know it exists, Patti. We see them. We know. We speak to them. Yeah. But just trying to show the world, I just want to show the world that it exists. It's not about, is there a paranormal world out there? Is there an afterlife? There is an afterlife. We just want to show you the afterlife. So the SLS is amazing for that, because it captures so much. But to capture energy through that's something else.
I know. That was just wild. I'm going to have to get that clip and put it on my website or something. Like, I don't know, just because it's like, look, it's energy. You know, people didn't believe air existed way back when, just like you were saying, paranormal will be normal. We don't see air. We believe in it. We breathe it. We need it to live, but we know it's there. Energy is the same. Like you see what you called the little circles in people with the chakras. Yeah. And we see it. That is.
I do a lot of self-healing, so a lot of distance healing. So I send healing to people, and I send them, across the pond. I do a lot of. I send a meditation to people, and then I so they can listen to it, and then I actually do it real time. So I'm sending healing at the same time as you're listening to it. And I remember somebody saying to me, "How is that working?" And I said, "But it's like just trying to describe." How does a telephone work? You're sending a message to somebody else. I don't quite know how the electronics of that works. I just know I'm sending it to them. And that's the same as the healing. I can send it to anybody. So sometimes we don't have all the answers. We can't explain it in layman's terms. We can't explain it in science words, but we just know that we are sending an energy out to the world. And that's why I think that, again, with the pandemic, we were all thinking of each other. It's all about intent. So this thought, we're all thinking of each other, worried about each other, and suddenly reflecting on everybody. We were starting to forgive people that we didn't think we'd ever forgive, because suddenly it looked like we were all facing death. That's how everybody felt. And that was an energy that was building up. And that's the same as a telephone line. You're sending a link to someone, healing energy, you're sending it to someone. To get that, to actually be able to film that is very difficult. The SLS, film that red light was quite phenomenal. But if there is some equipment that you could see an energy, then that would be the final thing, because it's still invisible, but it's just something you feel, and it's something you know in your heart.
Yep, and I think they're getting closer. All the equipment, because I can't, between the Ghost Adventures guys and my other guys, they hang out with the nerdy creator, engineer thing. So they're getting there. It's pretty awesome. But they'll never not need us. They'll never not need what touches to the heart, to the spirit without that. So
that's right.
We won't get, I think.
We won't get taken over by machines. Hope not.
anyway, well, before we get going, I'm going to have you call them back because I just love talking to you. Again, it's just like calling my girlfriend and this is what we're going to do. But any last words of anybody, again, that they're looking at you and they go, I want to take my empowerment, Barb. I want to live that happy life. Any couple tips or anything that you have that people could, other than earthing, get barefoot and get on that ground. Even doctors are proving that.
That's it. It's about, we want to live our life on a high vibration. So we are spending, the answer to life is we need to raise our vibration. The highest vibration means that you can work on a spiritual level, you can work on a psychic level, you can work on a magical level, and you can love more. So it's all about raising the vibration. There's different ways that you can raise your vibration. Sometimes just listening to music, dancing, letting your hair down. Don't worry what other people think. Just, do that in the kitchen, do that in your own home. It's about raising your vibration. And once you're feeling right up there, you can take on the world. So as much as there's a lot of psychic jargon, isn't there, out there? And there's a lot of use this crystal, use that, and all these different rules. Sometimes if you just don't know what to do, just dance, listen to music, try and just laugh. Laughter, suddenly all your stress will go and you'll raise your vibration naturally.
Laughter is the best answer. Laughter is the best medicine. Laughter is the answer to everything. If you're on a paranormal investigation over your head, you get scared to death, laugh. If you're in an argument, laugh. It's like, the air, your new Air Force coming out, it creates, it's the best. So thank you for that. I agree wholeheartedly. So do you have anything coming up? And please let people know how they can get hold of you because they're going to love you like I do. So give us your website, your social media, any events you have.
So all my social media it's all Heavenly Helen. So I've got my Facebook, Heavenly Helen, Instagram, Twitter. It's all on Heavenly Helen. My website, Heavenly Helen. But because we've got our beautiful Tudor building, it's 15th century in Stafford. People can come see us here. If you're not local to here, then I do reach the world through my website because I do a lot of self-healing and I do a lot of distance healing. So if anybody was to join on there, they'll see that we do online classes, online workshops. I'm always in reach. I will always get back to you if you message me. And it's just about my YouTube channel. I've got a load of free hypnosis on there for people to just listen to and relax to. And there is one on there which is to unlock your psychic powers, because we've all so sometimes you just need that little bit of all you do is basically go to sleep to my voice. I have a way of sending people to sleep, Patti. I hope your audience is still awake.
I think they are.
And so with my hypnosis, you just listen to that and that will help you to relax and it will open up all your psychic awareness. So and also we have a live seance coming up in a few weeks, and that will also be put on our YouTube channel, so people will be able to join in on that.
That's good. And that's heavenlyhelen.co.uk, right? You're different than our state's COM. Yeah.
Heavenlyhelen.co.uk. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I can't wait to see you again. I'm going to have to get back to your side of the world, and I'm going to have to get you to my side of the world.
Oh my God, I would love that. Yeah, I'd love that. Patti, it's just been amazing. Since the moment we met, magic happened. And that can happen with people. And it's just been fantastic. And this means the world to me. And I absolutely adore America. So it means the world to me that I've been able to talk to you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So everybody check her out. Heavenly Helen. You can find her everywhere. Thank you for visiting.
Thank you.
Hour. Isn't she fun? I know.